Hi there, it's Natasha, and today I have a video for you featuring this tag die set that was purchased from AliExpress. I'm going to be using some Tim Holtz watercolor paper. There is a rough side and a smooth side, and I'm going to use the smooth side for this project. So I've cut this tag out 2 times because I'm going to make 2 cards today. And I also, you might remember from a previous video, I have these strips here. This is strips of masking paper that I've just cut in my paper trimmer using, so I started off with an A4 sheet of masking paper and I just cut long strips. So that's why I am tearing them all in half, and they're about 1/4 of an inch or so. I didn't measure and they are different widths, but give or take they're about 1/4 of an inch. So just pulling off the backing paper, and I'm going to put strips down similar to one of my backgrounds I created in a previous video. These were sitting on my desk and I thought that I was trying to use up items from my stash recently, so this was something that was just sitting there and I'm just eyeballing it. One card has 3 strips on it and one card has 4 strips down it as well. So from here I'm going to use some Distress Oxide inks to colour these. Now originally I was trying to go sort of from really light to dark, so this is the new Peacock Feathers Distress Oxide ink. I am just using some low-tack tape, this is the post-it note tape, to cover up the next section of colour, because as I said I want to go from light to dark, so I'm trying to do each little section ever so slightly darker than the previous one. So you can see that I'm stamping off a little bit to get rid of a little bit of the ink on my foam and then going back in again. And then I decided to do the really dark one down the bottom, and then this one is going to be in between those 2 colours. And it becomes more prominent once you take off those little paper strips too. So with the pink one, this is the Picked Raspberry, the new Distress Oxide colour. And I'm trying to go for the same effect as the blue one, so I'm going really heavy with the ink down the bottom and then gradually going softer. You probably could have done this without using the blue tape to get the next one, and it would have created the effect when you took the strips off. That would be another way to do it too, I guess. So once I've got the colour on, I am going to hit these with the heat gun and make sure that the ink is nice and dry when I carry on with my next steps of stamping the sentiment. I don't want to smudge the ink anywhere. This sentiment stamp set is from AliExpress also, and I'm going to use that Happy Birthday. I need to take the strips off first, obviously, otherwise I'm going to have gaps in my stamping. So here is the big reveal, that's the fun part. And these masking strips come off nice and easily. These ones were purchased from Simon Says Stamp, I believe. Then I wasn't quite so sold on the pink one, so I have ended up using the Wilted Violet to create the bottom, and I'm just going pretty heavy, to be honest. I'm not doing any light to dark anymore. I'm sort of changing colours. So I'm making the top of the card nice and pink with the Picked Raspberry, and then I'm just going to work away here to blend the 2 colours together so that you can see where the blend mark is. I didn't want it to fall under that middle strip of white paper. Then quickly hit it with my heat tool, and then I'm good to go again. So I'm going to peel off these little strips, and here it is. I'm going to use my MISTI to stamp this because I've already done lots of work on my background and I don't want to ruin it now. And so I'm going to use the I've done stamped Best Wishes and Happy Birthday. Maybe the correct way to say it is Happy Birthday and Best Wishes, but I didn't want the bold black Happy Birthday stamp up the top. I didn't like it there, so I did it my own way around. So just using this grid transparency to line up the stamps and make sure that they're even, and excuse my head getting in the way, and then I've got a little and that goes in the middle, so it says Best Wishes and Happy Birthday. Just lining it up and making sure it's all roughly centered, and then pick it up using the lid of the MISTI, and I'm going to use some VersaFine Onyx Black ink, which is a pigment ink, to stamp these sentiments down. I'm going to stamp them, I think I do it 3 times or so to get a nice dark image and make sure that it's got full coverage of especially that bottom one where it's got quite a lot of black surrounding the happy birthday word. So I've got the first one done, and as I said, I'm doing 2 cards, so I'm going to stamp. And that's part of the advantage of having a stamping tool, I guess. So from here, I am just cleaning off my stamps, and I'm going to put together the cards. This is some pattern paper that I have that I picked up and showed in my last haul video. I picked it up, if you're in New Zealand, from a shop that we have called The Warehouse, and it's just cheap and cheerful cardstock. So I'm going to use I like that one with the diamonds that does have some gold foiling to it, and the one that is the bold stripes across. I'm cutting each of these to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, these background pieces of paper, and they are going to fill up the entire background of my card front. So I just was cutting it so that the diamonds all lined up nice and evenly. So that's what I'm just pointing at. Okay, from here I am going to use some liquid glue to adhere the card front onto the card base, and I'm just going to use some Ranger Multi-Matte Medium, which is what I have in this little precision tip bottle, and glue down the first one, and then just going to do the second one here. A little bit of glue gives you that a little bit of wriggle time, especially because these card fronts take up the entire card base. So I just need them to be on nice and square. Once I have those done, I'm just going to add a little bit of twine to the top of the tags on each of them. This is just some black and white twine that I had from my stash, and I'm making sure, I'm just using my heat gun to make sure that the pigment ink from the VersaFine Onyx Black ink is nice and dry. As I said, it's a pigment ink and you don't want it to smudge anywhere after we've done all this work on our tags. I'm just using some of the foam tape. This is foam tape from AliExpress, and it's super sticky, and I'm able to fit 3 strips there to nicely support the back of the card. The back of the tag, sorry. And then I was going to put this one on straight and ended up on an angle, and I quite like it, it's fine. And the little bit of string just hangs over the side. I got a little bit of ink on the front of my card there too. And then just to finish off these, I'm just going to peel the release paper on this one and then pop that one down on an angle also. And they look ever so slightly plain, not quite finished. These are nice, clean and simple cards, but just to finish them off a little bit, I'm using some jewel drops from Nuvo. And this first blue one is called Sea Breeze. And the second one that I'm going to use on the pinky purple card is Rose Water, I think, and they are jewel drops as well. Okay, so I feel like these little jewel drops just add some nice finishing touches to the cards, and I'm just going to add some all the way up here. I could have used the purple shade one too, but the pink one, they just have ever so slightly a little bit of colour to them, and then they dry sort of translucent with a tinge of that colour. So these are my cards for today. They were fun to make and relatively simple. I hope that you're able to recreate something similar at home. And thanks so much for joining me. Have a good day. See you next time. Bye.